So, good day, friends. As you see on the screen, there is a index like what we deal with today, like introduction, literature, survey, problem statement, objectives, functionalities, proposed block diagram, design, partial implementation, methodology, output, and reference. So today I'll tell you about how text is converted to emojis, like text emojification, and this is the PPT about that. So let's go on to the right. So first introduction is like emojis have become a new language and standard for online communication. It can be more effective to add emoji to text message to show more emotional and sentimental feelings. Correct? The keyboard can predict emojis but only based on certain keywords. Tags are associated with emojis. A prediction system can be integrated with a keyboard which predicts emoji. After typing a sentence, the user has to manually select an emoji. This also reduces time and the use of available emotions. There will be automatic emoji predictions which will reduce time and efforts for searching emoji. As you see on a screen, if I type something and if I want to convey some message to my friends and my relatives and someone, then I have to type a whole sentence. Instead of that, what should I do? I just use a emoji and show my feelings to that particular person. So this project is about that. So I did some literature survey, like I read some research paper through researchgate patent application, and I find out that how the text is converted to emoji using Inforate system. Like present disclosure relates to language direction and in particular system and methods for suggestion for suggesting emoji. I read about whole the research paper by word and word, and then I get to know that how to do emojis and how to convert the text to emojis. I show you a letter, a back end and front end of that. Okay. So this is the another literature survey. This is also one literature survey where basically in this literature survey what happens, the RNN is most useful recurrent neural network which are using here, and also there is LSTM, by LSTM also used, but in this literature survey the RNN is used. So problem statement, basically design and develop the system to predict the emoji based on emoticon and meaning of sentences using LSTM and RNN. As you see on screen, let's play football, then automatically it will come as a football sign. So it can express emotions with a very affirmative and very firmly, so that we can enhance the text and we can get through that all the things what actually the person want to see. Okay, then functionalities, then propose block diagram. So block diagram is like with text sentence, then there is a embedding layer, then by LSTM. Basically LSTM and by LSTM, what is the difference? LSTM is work on a forward propagation, like we are just at each layer, we know that neural network is basically working on a hidden layers. There are so many hidden layers, and at each hidden layer there are some data we are multiplied because there are some input segments. So BILSTM basically work on backward propagation and forward propagation also. So there are afterward there is a dense layer and then emojification happens. So this is architecture. The we could take a sentence and then convert it into a prediction layer, and there is one hidden layer, and after that there is output. Basically LSTM is what it does, it just convert the sequence into vectors because my machine could not understand what I am basically telling and what I am basically writing in my sentences, because it is a machine, it is a computer, it is only understand the zeros and ones. So we have to convert that into the vectors so that machine learning algorithm can analyze that. So LSTM has basically done that, it just convert that sentences into vectors. So partial implementation is like by using LSTM and NLP. Huh? There is also another way like natural language processing. I also did that. Natural language processing, what happens? We are just tokenize the words. We just remove the stop words, and then we just extract the main data, and according to that we just label the data. What that we have to do, correct, in NLP. But in LSTM stands for short long term memory, long short term memory. Sorry. So basically LSTM is works on a sequence to vector, as I already said. So methodology is LSTM. It's a special kind of recurrent neural network. It is capable of learning long-term dependencies in data. The recurring model of the data has a combination of 4 layers. Maybe more layers are there because it is a neural network, of course. So like LSTM cell, as you see on the screen, cell is look like something which is of a gate formation, like there are forget gate, input gate, output gate. Basically gate is a terminology used for remembering something. Like if you are a computer student, then you can always know that what is a remembering and what is a forgetting, because in each state in TOC also, theory of computation, we had a subject TOC in which we learn about remembering, like we use finite automata, push down automata, like something here we are using some gates which remembering that particular data for a moment and transfer that into the forward gate. This is also LSTM cell architecture. Then mathematical expression, there is a sigma into WZ HT minus 1 comma XT. That is just a tan of H, because what happened at each neural network, we are using basically some functions like sigmoid function, ReLU function, like that. In LSTM, there is a tan H function. So we have to use that. And database set, I'm using a database here which is consist of two sets, like training data set and testing data set. I show you after that. So let's go to the backend. So we have to first have, so this is my backend. So first I have to include all the libraries as you see on the screen: NumPy, Panda, Emoji. Most important Emoji, because we have to import that emoji, correct? So then Keras, because it is a TensorFlow library. Then pre-processing model, then layer understanding, dense input, dropout, LSTM activation function, embedding function, because there is we have to embed something and then get to the output after that, and then matplotlib. So I'll just run it. It takes some time. So we are first loading the data set, correct? It takes some time. So basically these are some fundamental libraries in which we can handle the data sets, handle the libraries which are useful for machine learning algorithms, and then we are proceeding on that basis. So it just takes some time. We have to wait for that. I'll show you output afterwards, that what it shows when we have to type like I am hungry, I am today happy. So automatically it shows emoji according to that. So it gets run. So in second slide we are just reading emoji data set. There are two data set here as I show my cursor. There is a train emoji data set and test emoji data set. So basically what is a data set? We are taking a data in which we are just put some values and some sentences to go through machine learning algorithm to get the output. So train emoji is my training data set and test emoji is my testing data set, where I could actually testing my outputs. And train emoji is like, and if there is a difference in, as you see in earlier, if there is a difference in accuracy in between those, then overfitting is there. But this is future picture, so we have to go ahead. So it is showing the shape of training data set, like train dot shape, then shape of data set is showing. Then there are some sentences I already typed there, like never talk to me again, I am proud of your achievement, like and so on, so on. So these are the some of the sentences. Then afterwards, like emoji dictionary, this is most important, by which we are predicting our sentences. There are four keywords and four levels I'm using here. As you see, 0 is heart, 1 is football, 2 is like smiling emoji, third is sad face, and fourth is food bowl. Then like text pre-processing, because we have to pre-process data, we have to split our data into train and test data, as we already have that, but we have to sample out that data. Then we have to fix the maximum length of data, because we are considering vector, as I said earlier in PPTs, like we have to consider a vectors, not a sentences. So we have to correct that vector size. Then one hot encoder is there, we just encode that by using that. Then we are getting actually a length of 10 vectors, like 10 is a unit vector for which we are converting. Basically what happened, if I say I am very happy, that particular I is converted to some number. Then I am is converted to some number, very is converted to some number, and then happy is converted to some number. That particular number are the sequences, and those sequences are converted afterward by going through LSTM. It will convert into the vectors, and then vectors are generalized to label the data set in the test data set. So basically we are doing that only, and we are choosing a 10 length data vector set. I just show you that. As you see on the screen, Y train, I just split the data into two, Y train and X train. Then I just show you how the data is look like. As you see on the screen, array 0 1 0 1, these are just like labels. As you see, first what are the labels, like 0 for heart, 1 for sad, 2 for smile, third for food bowl, like that. So X train is that, and we are using globe vectorization. Basically here we have used globe pre-trained corpus model to represent our words. It was available in three varieties, like 50 dimension, 100 dimension, 200 dimensional, and we have used here a 50 dimensional because data set is so small. So for our data set is small, we are using a globe vectorization. Basically in sequence to vector conversion, we are using globe vectorization to manipulate that sequences into vector by easily. So first we embed that data. As you see, embedding dictionary function, you go through the lines as it takes some time. So we just use glow.6b.50d.txt, which are using for reading purpose. That's why I write there read, R for read. So it just read that. It takes some time. We have to wait for that. Yes, correct. So it shows. Then we are using SciPy import spatial. So it is just one library to tokenize that particular sequence data sets. Then we are just printing embeddings layers. Then we use here cosine similarity function here, then spatial distance dot cosine embedding dictionary word, and then embedding dictionary word. That word will show the distance vector between those particular sequences. And after that we are just here to, we are using two for loops for train and test data set, and these are the embeddings. We are just embed our data sets, and actually at the end we are where so embedding dictionaries, as you see on the screen, this is whole embedding dictionary. What is embedding dictionary? Basically the letters and what are the English words are converted into the respective numbers. Those numbers we are see on the screen. Then Keras sequential model, this is a TensorFlow. We have to convert that vector model to the sequential model so as to get our data set pre-processed correctly. Then we have to compile that, and after that we have to fit that model. The last thing is fit the model in the machine learning algorithm. Here epochs are started. First epoch is started. We have to wait. So second epoch is start, third epoch start, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10, like that. It just started the epoch. Epoch is like chunk of data sets the machine learning algorithm used to have in that particular algorithm. So after that, as you see on my cursor, I show you the accuracy. As it shows 1, that means it shows 100% accuracy. If it could possible that my training data set show a higher accuracy like 100% and my testing data set show 50% accuracy, then I say that there is a overfitting. But here I'm using, to deal with that, I'm using here two separate data sets to avoid that term overfitting. So because we have to work on that. So epochs are already run. We have to just score the model like embedding, and then code the model. Then we have to predict. So this is some of the prediction, like this is the RF prediction. Basically 3 2 1, as you see on the screen, these are the labels, and that label show the classes. like which emojis are there, because each emoji is specifically labeled with some number. As I already told you, 0 is for heart, 1 is for sad face, 2 is for like smiling face, and so on. So there are so many emojis for that, and that shows the number. So we are at the end of this backend, so we have to just processing some of the sentences for our neural network. So as you see on the screen, there is one sentence like I am hungry, so I run that and output is 4. Output is 4 is like food bowl is coming. If I type, I just erase that in front of you. I just uh, keep here I am angry. If I keep here I am angry and run that, it shows output here 3. That means a sad face. Like that I am showing my emotions with help of this data set. I am not here create a function here. I just show you the front end also. This is the back end, whole back end for text to emojification. Then we have to go through the front end also. So this is my front end. I just use a few HTML code like here emoji.html. Then there are some JavaScript to connect to the backend. Then there are some CSS file to just coloring my front end. There are few lines. I'm not doing so much in front end. I just show you the main front end. Here is the script, like script is starting with Google Manager, and then what language we are using, and then some of the functions like to apply to connect to JavaScript to the emojify.ipynb we have to just write here. This is the front end. So I show you directly the output. So this is the output. As you see, this is the output. This is the emoji density. As I said, we can uh, means change the density of that emoji. If I type here,